Olá pessoal, seja bem-vindo ao canal Ano da Figueira. Se você não é inscrito, se inscreva, deixe seu like, compartilhe o canal. Então vocês estão vendo uma foto de um rapaz bem jovem ao lado das novilhas vermelhas que não foram sacrificadas, senão elas não estariam tirando foto. Você vê que o número de vacas que estão ali são as que tinham mesmo. Então ele foi escolhido para fazer o sacrifício da novilha vermelha. Ele foi para lá ver as novilhas, conhecer. O Instituto do Templo não vai seguir o Talmud, que fala que a 10ª novilha seria sacrificada pelo Messias. Eles não vão esperar mais Messias. Eles estão antecipando, né, as coisas. Então, esse daí não é o Machia. Ele é levita, o Machia é da descendência de Davi, ou seja, da tribo de Judá, não é ele. Mas ele que vai fazer a cerimônia, um rapaz bem novo, né? Como vocês estão vendo. O título eles colocaram o Kohanim apto para fazer a cerimônia da novilha vermelha. O jovem Kohen, que significa sacerdote, na foto visitando as candidatas à novilha vermelha em Shiló, está apto para realizar a cerimônia da novilha vermelha. Ele veio ao mundo através de parto normal, nunca colocou os pés em um hospital ou cemitério, portanto é considerado pela Halachá, lei judaica, como sendo do mais alto nível de pureza da Torá, nunca tendo tido contato com um cadáver, portanto ele não tem a impureza transmitida pelo contato com um cadáver. Caso ele opte por participar dos preparativos contínuos do Instituto do Templo em antecipação à renovação das cinzas das novilhas vermelhas, ele passará por uma intensa instrução de treinamento, o que significa que a novilha vermelha não foi sacrificada porque eles não tinham uma pessoa apta. Aquela conferência foi colocado o seguinte: quem ia fazer a novilha, quem ia sacrificar a novilha vermelha? Um sacerdote levita, porque o sumo não pode, ou o Messias. Foi concluído pelo Instituto do Templo que vai ser pelo um Kohanim, né, por um sacerdote, Kohen, que tem um alto nível de impureza. Procurou e achou esse jovem aí. Como ele não tem contato com nenhum morto, como ele nunca foi no hospital, então ele é o que tem o maior nível de pureza da tribo de Levi, que é descendente de Arão. Eu vou deixar um vídeo aí para vocês sobre a notícia que está sendo divulgada da cerimônia da novilha vermelha, que agora eles conseguiram encontrar quem vai fazer essa cerimônia.
Has just announced, literally 2 hours ago, that they have found a Kohen, a priest, who is certified, able to perform the red heifer ceremony. We've been covering this for a while. I've actually been covering it for 7 years. There's been a lot of news about it lately. Last week there was a red heifer conference that I was at. We've been discussing whether or not it would happen soon. One of the major obstacles was to find a kosher Kohen. The Jews have stringently kept the tradition of patrilineal descent from the biblical Aaron the priestly caste. So to find a Kohen is not a problem, but to find a Kohen kosher for the red heifer ceremony is much more difficult. Kohanim, the Kohen to perform the ceremony has to have been meticulous about avoiding impurity from proximity to the dead. Kohanim, as a rule, do not enter cemeteries, and there's a problem with hospitals. So they had to find a Kohen who had been born at home, because hospitals have dead bodies, and a baby born in a hospital would have been ritually impure. And he has to never have set foot in a hospital. And he also also has to never have entered a cemetery, and that's a little bit harder to find. Also, they needed someone over the age of 15 years old because slaughtering a cow, a full-grown cow, is physically difficult. So they needed someone who was strong enough to do that. Literally 2 hours ago, 3:30 Israeli time, the Temple Institute announced on Facebook that they have found, and they showed a photo of the young man, I'll post it, and he is, according to them, fit to perform the red heifer ceremony. He's fulfilled all the requirements. He was a home birth, never set foot in a hospital or cemetery. He's on the highest level of Torah purity. And they say, should he opt to participate in Temple Institute's ongoing preparations in anticipation of the renewal of the ashes of the red heifer, he will undergo intense instruction and training. There's been a lot of fake news and even horrible slander about the red heifer. This is performed once every 2,000 years. Between the time of Moses at Sinai until the destruction of the temple, there were only 9 red heifers. So the Temple Institute is meticulous. They are not going to hurry just in order to slap something together. It's not like that. It has to be perfect, of the highest order. They have to have studied all of the sources, and there are a lot of issues that have never come up before. This is modernity. For example, the cows, when they were transported, they needed to be marked so that they could identify them, so they put in RFID chips. There's issues of whether or not you need ashes from the previous cow in order to mix with the new ashes. We've never had a condition where we didn't have the ashes of the red heifer. From, as I said, from Moses until the destruction of the temple, we always had the ashes. The Jews were always being purified. This is the 10th time in history that this is going to happen. It is going to usher in a new era, an era in which the Jews will be on a higher level to be able to perform the Torah mitzvahs. That's what this is about. There's been a lot of threats, most notably from Hamas and Hezbollah. There have been a lot, I'll be honest, there have been a lot of Christians who have given us a lot of hate. Christianity has things like the Temple of the Antichrist, a lot of anti-temple service, and then there are a lot of Christians who are very excited about this. To be honest, I'm not a Christian. I don't know your theology. I really don't understand it. Jesus walked in the temple. I can guarantee, and Christians won't want to hear this, if Jesus was an Orthodox Jew living in Jerusalem and going to the Temple Mount, I can guarantee you he utilized the ashes of the red heifer to become pure, to go up. That's just a fact. Okay? If you deny that, you're denying facts. Okay? We need to bring this mitzvah back. It is a new level for the Jews. It is a new level for the world. People say, oh, it's going to start a war. No. You know something? That's what they said about moving the embassy to Jerusalem, that would start a regional war. You know what happened? The Abraham Accords. As soon as they started disconnecting from Jerusalem, war broke out. The Arabs, the Muslims, know what it's about. They called the October 7th attack the Al-Aqsa wave. Well, this is the answer to that. Connecting to Jerusalem, connecting to holiness, connecting to the God of Israel. That's what this is about. And it will bring peace. I can guarantee that. All those people who are saying it'll bring war, how dare the Jews, they just don't want the Jews to be performing the Bible, but to be performing the Torah. And that's a horrible thing. That's what we were brought into the world to do. That's what we were chosen by God, to be a light unto the nations, to bring these things into the world. I want to emphasize, people who are not connected to the Temple Institute don't know. There are very few Christians who learn the original sources about this material. I can recommend you go to Joe Good, who is amazing. I can can recommend you go to Rico Cortez, who's a student of Joe Good. Joe Good is very connected to the Temple Institute. They speak to him. He's probably more updated than I am. There's also Pastor Joey White, who did an amazing video about how Christians should relate to the red heifer. Anyone who hates on it, they're wrong. They're wrong. And I can guarantee they weren't at the Temple Conference. They don't know the sources. They didn't speak to the people who are actually doing this. The only people who know about this are Rav Ariel, who was tasked by the Temple Institute to bring about the red heifer, and Rav Menachem Makover, who also is very much involved in this. The Temple Institute, they deserve all our support. They are amazing. What they're doing is they're shaking the world. I would also recommend connecting to, of course, Byron Stinson. Byron Stinson in Bona, Israel. Amazing people. Amazing people. Byron, to be really honest, he may not know the intricacies of the Jewish law, but he was the one who brought the red heifers to Israel out of his Christian faith. He's really an astounding person. I recommend you connect with him. I recommend you listen to him. Just connecting with people who are bringing the Geulah, the redemption, is amazing. Also, Rav Tzachi Mamo is amazing. Anyone at Boneh Israel, they're very special people, Jews and Christians together. But anyone who's not connecting to these people, they don't know what they're talking about. They really don't. Unfortunately, those are the people getting most of the views. It seems to be that people prefer lies to the truth. That really hurts me. That's why I get all up and get out of steam whenever I think about this. Okay? It's really happening, and it's happening faster and faster and faster. If you want to side with Hamas and Hezbollah, feel free, but know what you're doing. You are siding with Hamas and Hezbollah. You are siding with evil. If you want to side with the temple, with Geulah, with redemption, with the temple in Jerusalem, be with us. If not, know whose side you're on. Okay? Also, I recommend connecting with ancient Shiloh. You can go there to actually see the calf for yourself. Of course, you have to come to Israel to do that. I recommend it. Most people don't get to Shiloh because it's in the Shomron, in Samaria. People don't know where Samaria is. They only know about the West Bank. That's a lie. It is Shomron, Samaria, like the prophet spoke about. I also recommend connecting with the Temple Institute. Unbelievable what they've done. They've taken a world 40 years ago where no one knew anything about the temple. The temple was some kind of thing that maybe some crazy people spoke about thousands of years ago, and now they've turned it into a reality. God bless them. They should be blessed 1,000,000 times over. Rav Richmond, who is no longer connected with them, go to their website, check them out, connect with them. They tell the truth. Anyway, exciting stuff. The priest for performing the red heifer ceremony has been found. God bless us all.
Então é isso, o título fala: um coxo Cohen tinha sido encontrado para a novilha vermelha, cerimônia da novilha vermelha.